You all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Vilemike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Vilemike and his real wild child.
Howdy, folks. Is Vilemike here, and nobody's watching. It looks like, at least according to the thing. So I don't know what I'll do other than vamp a little bit until hopefully some people show up. Yes, last week I did not stream because I finally got COVID. Well, at least confirmed that I got COVID. Elihu's here. So, howdy, Elihu. Basically, what I think happened was I got strep throat from Mrs. Vile, and because I was sick from that a little bit, but still working, and of course I work in a, sanitary area of scholarly people who like to be as safe as possible when they're sick, Walmart. That means my immune system was shot just enough so I was able to finally get COVID. And that was confirmed on Friday after a phone call with my boss. She was like, "Oh, you don't sound good. I'm sending you to go get checked." So that meant there was about 5 days I couldn't work. And I just tried to do my best to heal up. As of right now, I still have a case of bronchitis from it after the COVID did turn into turned into pneumonia, apparently. So yeah, and Sci-Fi Nation's also here, so I want to point that out. And I put a link in the chat if you guys want to come up, because I don't know if you can tell, because my mic usually sucks, but my voice is a little bit off still. That's because I'm still coughing a whole lot, and I still have a bit of a sore throat, even though it's been almost 2 weeks at this point. So let's go ahead. How you doing, Elihu?
I think I'm awake.
What, did you think that just because I was gone for a week that I'd be gone for good?
Yeah, because I did not get a notification half hour ago that you were going live. I'm like, oh, I guess Mike is not going live today.
That's because I used the same exact link from the last one. That's why I still have these in the chat from people from last week saying, feel good or get well soon.
Gotcha.
I probably should have just canceled it and got to open a new one, but I figured this one already has everything saved on it. Screw it. So that was my laziness.
Well, at least you can get the subtitles on there.
But yeah, so I can finally confirm, now that I know for sure that I've had COVID, that COVID is not fun. It hit me like a Mack truck.
Dude, every year I get the sniffles or a slight little cold. I haven't had a cold or sick in 2.5 years, okay? This is weird for me, man.
Yeah, Elihu, me and Mrs. Vile have been together for over 5 years. I've only been sick twice in that entire time. Both of them occurred in the last 2 months.
Shit.
I got the flu late November, early December for the first time in 6 or 7 years. And I got COVID for, at least that I know I got COVID this time. Oh, plus I did like the fact that the person doing the testing on the second set of testing, because, they got to test you once to make sure you got it. And then you got to test you again to make sure that you're fit to work.
Yeah.
And he goes, I wanted to let you know that you're like the 22nd person in San Diego who's got this strain of COVID.
Okay.
So yes, not only did I catch COVID, I caught a brand new strain.
Hey, you're unique and special.
And I had to suffer through strep throat and pneumonia and bronchitis while having COVID. Because that's fucking me. I can't just get one illness. I have to get all the illnesses.
Hey, at least you didn't get mono and polo at the same time.
Did you say mono and polio?
Yeah.
No, but at least I'm vaccinated for one of those.
Yeah, I still got my little patch on my arm from my polio thing when I was a kid.
And yes, just because I got the COVID vaccine does not mean you won't get COVID, especially when there's newer strains coming out. It just means that I didn't have, despite the fact that I'm 100 pounds overweight, I'm a smoker for the last 25 years, and the fact that, I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30, I didn't have to go to the hospital. All I had to do is get medication. Although what was funny is the doctor that prescribed me my medications was like, normally we don't prescribe antibiotics for COVID, but since you have strep throat too,
just be on the safe side.
And I'll try to mute myself when I got a cough, but I didn't right there. I'll be coughing a lot. I might not stream for the entire 2 hours. We'll see what happens.
I still got like 4 or 5 COVID tests.
Oh, we ran out of COVID tests a long time ago.
So I can't believe people are selling them online when you get them for free. I'm like, come on.
Because people are lazy and they'd rather pay for a test to be delivered to their house than go somewhere to get one for free.
You mean they'd rather pay to get delivered to the house, and they'd rather, instead of getting it free and delivered to the house? Wow, idiots.
Okay, yeah, but the federal one, they only ship you 4.
Per name.
That's part of the problem. I don't know if California has a separate program, to be honest.
I don't know. I used ELIHU, then I used ELI, and I got two separate orders. I gave some to my neighbors just in case. I'm like, hey, here you go, here you go, here you go.
No, we got some through the federal program a while back, but they were gone, within a couple of months of getting them. So what I missed during the week?
Orville Nation got put in Twitter jail.
What'd they do this time?
Well, PJ fell into the cracks of the Elon fucked up Twitter again, because anybody who basically sent an emoji or a link on a DM to somebody, no matter what it was, got their account locked. And PJ just sent an emoji to support Cherry Matalis. It's not how it's spelled. It's his last name. And he got put into Twitter jail for that. And some people got their account reinstated. Some people have not yet. PJ is one of them who has not got his account reinstated.
The only thing that's pissing me off about that, or about Twitter right now, is the fact that despite the fact that he's blocked me, I'm still getting notifications of his fucking tweets.
Yeah, I know. I hate that damn algorithm. I heard about that.
I mean, if he's going to take the time to actually personally block, or I don't know if he personally blocked it, but you know what I mean, to block my Twitter account, why am I still getting notifications? He's like, I don't want you to see what I have to say, but here's you have to get the notification anyway.
He allegedly fired the person who was supposed to do that because the guy didn't want to push Elon's tweets above everybody else, and he allegedly got fired for that.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not spending all that much time on Twitter anymore. I'll wait until things settle down and someone who actually knows what they're doing is put back in charge.
I say bring back Tom from MySpace. Let him take
I
over.
agree. And how you doing, Jay?
I'm doing good, Mike. How are you?
Oh, I'm just peachy. Can you hear it in
Yeah.
my voice?
Yeah, I heard what you were saying about that. That sucks.
Hey, at least he's not nectarine. He's just peachy.
Well, and at least I survived, despite the fact that I still had to work all week. Well, at least Tuesday to Saturday I had to work.
Mm.
Yeah, be glad you're not on Twitter because you'll see all the negative posts about Jimmy Carter.
Who?
Jimmy Carter.
Why? What happened?
He basically went to hospice last night with his family because he's very,
Yeah.
very sick and stuff. And all these people on Twitter, my feed is getting, I had to block a lot of people because like, oh, Jimmy Carter's sick. Hope he dies soon. Hope he dies soon. Get that old man out of here. Let him kick the bucket real fast. Like, fuck, block.
Oh, that's just fucked up. Jimmy Carter was well before my time, and he's, a very devout Christian, but I still don't hate the guy as a president, at least from what I've read about him as a president.
Yeah.
Never fired a shot in office. Never got to any controversy. What did he do when he got out of office? He started building homes. He started helping out humanity. That's what he did. He didn't do anything about foreign policy. He didn't do anything about writing books, tours, publishing. No. He decided to build houses for everybody. That's what he's been doing ever since. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
And
I give this guy some respect.
Elihu, I've got my issues with Habitat for Humanity because it is a Christian organization and they tend to be very biased about who they help out. But even still, he's still doing what he can to help some people out at least.
That's why I give him kudos for that much at least.
I mean, I don't know. Plus, the whole he at least divested himself from his own family's peanut farm just so he wouldn't be considered trying to use the president's office to take advantage and enrich himself, unlike certain people that have happened in recent years.
Which is what president-elects are supposed to do according to federal law.
Yeah.
Turn over all private businesses, make sure they're not influencing or any say in the company whatsoever, which the last president before this one did not do that because the family made money off of foreign investments.
That's when they were talking about the emolument clause. That's what they were talking about. Was that right there?
Yep. I still don't know how they were able to get past that, other than the fact that they had a majority in the House at the time.
Well, there's a new bill going through Congress, sponsored by a Republican, of course, and actually, in favor of this one.
Are you talking about the Pelosi? Are you talking about the Pelosi bill?
Yeah, the banning of Congress from purchasing and selling stocks. Yeah, I'm all for that.
I know. I read it through, and there's a couple of things I disagree with it when I actually read the full thing. But I'm like 90% of it I'm completely for, and I'm laughing my head off that it's meant to insult Democrats, but at the same time, I'm reading this thing and I'm like, I know that no Republican is really going to vote for this.
Mm-mm.
But you know what? I've been wrong in the past. I can be wrong in the future. We'll see. But I will say that being sick did allow me to finally catch up a lot on Doctor Who. I finally finished watching the first season with Jodie Whittaker.
Wow, and you're still conscious.
Well, for the most part.
I'm sure he needed a nap after that, though, Elihu.
Oh, okay.
You know what's funny is that's exactly what happened. Is I fell asleep right after the last episode ended last night. And I can understand why some people are hating on it because, she's taking certain things to an extreme, at least the character. I'm not saying the actress. I think the actress is doing a very good job.
Yeah. But as far as like the writing for the character on it, you mean? Yeah.
Chibnall definitely needs to work on his ability to write certain things, or at least manage the people writing the episodes. Because I'm not going to say that people are they're just throwing in their politics in there. when you actually have the Doctor dressing up as the witch hunters in a freaking episode and doing a literal witch hunt, I mean, that was just turning the entire idea of the politics they were supposed to be going for on its head.
So like they're turning it into the Salem witch trials, basically.
Well, yeah, but they had the Doctor being the progressive one doing the witch hunt. I mean, come on, that is funny as all hell.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Chimbal has confirmed that some of the official, quote unquote, official photos from the new Doctor Who series, some of them are fake. He's pulling an MCU. Some of the backgrounds are fake. So if you guys see some backgrounds with the new Doctor and Jodie and David with some backgrounds, some of them are fake, some of them are real. He's not telling which ones are real because he's basically trying to pull a Marvel. He's like, I want to surprise you guys, but here's a little teaser. This is not real, but this is real. Yeah, that's actually a smart movie that he's doing. It's like, thank you.
Yeah,
as long as they don't do that stupid phase 1, 2, 3, and 4 that Marvel did.
He's not doing that. He's just
stupid.
He's not doing it. He's just having the Idra and odd backgrounds. Because that cloud thing, they're supposed to be in
to me, that's fine because it's just going to encourage discussion.
Yeah, I'm like, thank you. That's a good idea, man. Have some fake backgrounds.
Have some like actual discussion about shows, not this. Certain people hate it, and then the ones that actually want to watch it and give it real reviews get dunked on because they actually want to watch it to see if it's worth watching. You know,
or they see the trailer and like, oh no, this looks stupid. Really?
Yeah, I am so tired of that. I'm so tired of that. It's not even funny. Like you have so many channels now that just hate stuff because that's what their numbers. That's what gives them numbers.
I'm not going to say the guy's username. I'm going to say his real name. Gary complained about Star Trek Picard left and right, season 1, season 2. So he finally got blocked from Star Trek Paramount. He says, Star Trek's a good series. And he put a little screenshot of Star Trek Paramount Plus being blocking him. Like, well, that's what you get, Gary. You can't kiss ass anymore.
Which Gary?
He's a nerd.
He used to own a comic book store.
Yeah, he's a nerd. That's what he gets for doing that, man.
The one I haven't, the one I haven't paid attention to in at this point like a year and a half because I just got sick of the rhetoric.
Yeah. Yep, same here. About a year and a half, 2 years for me. Yep, but when I quit watching.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have not watched Picard season 2 yet, let alone started season 3 because I saw the episode came out.
Yep, came out.
Now, once I finish Doctor Who, which I still have 2 seasons of Jodie Whittaker to catch up on before that happens, and considering I'm only averaging one or like little less than one episode a day, so it'll probably be a couple of weeks before I can get to Star Trek Picard. But right now, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything bad about it because I haven't seen it.
Sci-fi, have you seen season 3 yet?
Yeah, okay. I saw it.
Okay, do you agree with me about the next thing I'm about to say? The woman who plays Rafi is one hell of an actress because of the opening scene.
Yes, I will agree with that. That scene took talent, yes.
I'm like, what? That was a 180 on me, like, wow.
Yep. And that's all I want to say about it because I don't want to ruin it for Mike.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But to go back to the Doctor Who, because I know some people are probably going to complain about my opinion on it. Let's see. I thought the episode about the India and Pakistan 1947 event, I can't remember what it's called right now, when they split the country.
Yeah, I forgot. They talked about it in Miss Marvel as well.
I think Miss Marvel did it a lot better, but I think they also were able to do it a lot better because they, one, had a bigger budget, and two, because they were able to spend more than one episode on it.
Oh, when Pakistan wanted sovereignty from India, right?
No, it was the British government forcing it on them.
Oh, okay.
It's when everybody had that mass exodus in 47, 48.
Okay, you're refreshing my memory now from what I've seen about it. So, yeah, okay.
But I would, it was good to see it from a different perspective from the one we saw in Miss Marvel. This was a much smaller perspective, obviously, because it's out in the boondocks instead of in one of the cities. So it was an interesting way of handling it without being a complete and total retread of the same story. Considering, at least I don't know if Miss Marvel came out before Doctor Who on that thing, but it was
No,
the
it didn't.
comparisons are bound to happen.
Doctor Who came up first.
Yeah, you're gonna have some comparisons, especially with like a larger overarching like uh, set of circumstances like that. Some things are going to be similar, but like you said, it was good to see it from a different point of view, like out kind of like out in the rural areas, the boonies, compared to like in a big city. So
Yeah.
and seeing how the people out there reacted versus the ones in the big cities.
I also say I did not necessarily like the Rosa Parks episode, because I know that Doctor Who has to take liberties with the way history actually occurred a lot of ways. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I know a little bit more about how that occurred and how it was, it was a planned event. It wasn't a spur of the moment thing by Rosa Parks. It was planned, weeks or months in advance. They were just waiting for an opportunity for it to happen.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're like, oh, we have to make sure everything's set up in the right order. And it's like, no, that's not really how it happened. But they were going more on how pop culture looks at it, not necessarily how history actually happened.
Because pop culture tends to go the route that it was just like a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah.
But there was this line that Dan said that actually combines with both of them when he said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. We need to give up a seat. I'm like, that was emotional. That was in both sides. That was a great line. We need to give up a seat. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of this. Like, he just wanted to see history. He's like, he didn't really want to be a part of it. He didn't want to be stigmatized for this. Like, I love that line.
To go back a little bit, as I said, that was one particular episode that I didn't necessarily like all that much, but one of the things I am liking is I think that hopefully maybe even going forward, this might give the Doctor characters a little bit more perspective as they're traveling in Earth's history, because as we've seen, for, the last 60 years, Doctor Who has been a man traveling through Earth's history, and a white man particularly.
Yeah.
And there are certain advantages of time, if you were to time travel, being a white man versus anything else, even in this case, a white woman. And I did like how they were pointing out several times how, oh, well, you can't, you obviously aren't the one in charge because you're a woman. And, Jodie Whittaker, I think, did a really good job of doing quiet seething a little bit whenever that happened.
Kind of like getting hot under the collar every time she had to hear that.
Exactly. And I think that, brings an advantage to future storylines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can, if they wanted to, they could really build on that type of storytelling without going overboard,
I mean, especially the areas that they do happen to tend to travel to. I mean, if they were to go to like, feudal Japan or China, they might be treated differently for being a white guy.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
They don't. Let's face it, Doctor Who hasn't really done that all that much. I mean, when was the last? I can't think of a single episode where they did something in that time period.
I can't think of one offhand either. I'm not a big Who fan, but yeah, I think something like that would stick out in my mind if they did do that. And I can't think of one.
Technically, they did when they brought back the first Doctor when he refused to regenerate in Antarctica. He was a misogynist asshole. So technically, yeah.
No, I'm talking more about the Doctor as a white man traveling to an area where the Empire is ruled not by white people, as in like feudal China, feudal Japan, some of the bigger empires of the Middle East or the East.
Or Mesoamerica, where they think white people were gods.
That too, I guess. I wasn't even thinking about them. Maybe some of the even African kingdoms like Mali back in the day.
Or Egypt.
Well, you know, one thing that always got me though, especially with them going back in the past like that, is how they weren't giving modern day or future diseases to these people from the past. Because we all saw what happened when the Spaniards went to South America. They killed off the Mayans with smallpox.
The TARDIS is a filter, has a biofilter inside.
Yeah,
installed.
I think there's techno babble in the TARDIS to explain that away.
Don't use that word,
okay.
man. I have no idea what technical babble means. Okay.
Well, someone's not a Star Trek fan, but
Like,
yeah. So basically,
he's referring to an old Jeopardy episode.
Kind of like has a biofilter like Star Trek's transporters have, kind of.
Like, do you remember there was an episode? I think it was in the Matt Smith era with Rory and Amy, when they travel to an area where there's a disease that only kills aliens with 2 hearts, and the doctor couldn't leave the TARDIS because of it. Really.
Okay. Well, the
So
Klingons wouldn't have survived either.
He could open the door, but he couldn't leave
because of the because he was protected inside. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not. As I said, I'm not necessarily hating it. I can see why some people are getting pissed off. One of the things I will say is I really am appreciating the new camera setups they've got. Whatever camera they're using is much better. Well, the sets of cameras they're using are much better than the ones they used last season.
Sorry.
Well,
it looks more cinematic.
Yeah, didn't they upgrade from like the Panavision cameras to whatever the new ones are? I don't know what the new ones are called, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they were using like the older Panavision style cameras. I could be wrong about that too, but I remember when those were a big thing in big budget films, and then they started using them on TV shows.
You mean the camera with the 3 lenses? The red, yellow, blue?
I don't know what kind of cameras they're using, but it definitely looks a lot better. I'm not sure I like the new shade of the TARDIS, though. It looks a little more too teal than traditional TARDIS blue. But that's a minor nitpick.
Yeah, but Tennant's TARDIS was mostly greenish blue.
Maybe I didn't notice it when he was doing it, but these, as I said, with these newer cameras, it's a lot easier to tell that it's a more teal light blue than it is, traditional TARDIS blue.
You know the answer to that?
What?
It's the chameleon circuit. It's misfire. It's Michigan. It's doing all
chameleon
colors.
circuits misfiring.
Yeah, it's all circuits, different colors. Okay.
Well, that's just like watching TNG in HD versus how it was filmed in original 4:3 aspect, because you can see stuff in the background that was never supposed to be on screen.
Yeah.
It's like, why is that black piece of paper on that panel there? Like, oh my gosh, look at that rug right there. It's folded up underneath the Ruckus chair. Look at that.
Oh, I didn't know they had shag in the 24th century.
I forgot. There's a couple episodes where you see the little wide angle from stage left. You see a rug being folded up underneath Brent's chair. Basically, he had to keep on tucking it in there because he kept on tripping whenever he stood up. So he's like kicked it underneath the chair. You can still see the fold right there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, stuff like that I can forgive, despite being a traditional nitpicker. Considering we're sci-fi and nerd geek type stuff, we're supposed to nitpick, but you can forgive that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah,
it was thing.
Exactly, because it was filmed in 4:3 and now it's in HD. So obviously there's going to be stuff showing up that didn't show up before. So.
Which is why, maybe that's one of the things that bugged me so much about Discovery, about not having the aesthetic of the 60s TOS era, is, yes, we all know the TOS era, it was very much a product of the 1960s. But we still enjoyed it. So throwing that homage to it every time they did it in, Enterprise with the Defiant, with
DS9 with Trials and
Trials and
Tribulations.
Tribulations, when Scotty went back to the Enterprise.
Yep, on the holodeck.
On the holodeck. Yeah, stuff like that was great. We weren't ashamed of that aesthetic. We embraced
we loved it. We loved it when it came on screen.
And I think that's one of the things they failed to realize is you can go ahead and modernize it without getting rid of it entirely.
Yeah, without ruining it.
And how you doing, Dandelion? Come on up if you want.
Good morning, Dandelion Cliff.
I've been seeing your artwork on Instagram.
I still haven't bothered spending any time on Instagram because I haven't opened an account.
I don't even have an account for that. I don't do the gram.
Oh, I found a website where you can actually live stream on Instagram from your computer and you don't have to use your phone.
Awesome. Something else I probably won't use.
Same here.
Because a lot of people stream Instagram on their phone. It's the only way they can do it. But I found a way you can stream it on your laptop.
I heard StreamYard has a way to where you can record stuff with your camera, but make it to where it shows up as a short, like you filmed with your phone. I'm not sure.
I haven't seen that. I know they have recordings now, and you can download the recording, and then you can edit it in what your choice of software.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So if you want to do shorts, just keep using your phone. You're better off.
In fact, what they can do is do local recordings. So if someone else also has a StreamYard account, say like we're watching the stream and I want to repost the stream later, but Sci-Fi Nation, your audio sucks on my end, but it's fine on your end. I can then combine the two videos into one so that the audio is perfect on both sides.
Oh, okay. So you just grab my recording or whatever for me.
Exactly.
I know an easier way. Just download the video and remove one of the audios. That's the easiest way for me to do it.
Yeah, but then you don't have that person's audio.
Yeah.
There you do. You overlay it.
Well,
I mean, if you want to get into using DaVinci, you can use.
I don't use I use iMovie. So a hell of a lot easier to overlay audio on iMovie than DaVinci.
Yeah, well, fuck iMovie. It's an Apple product.
Yep.
Okay,
like
the Windows 95 icon sound was made on an Apple machine. Ha.
Well, you know what I say: rotten apples and broken windows. They both suck. How about that?
Elihu, I will never buy an Apple product or use an Apple product for the rest of my life because the way that company runs. They tried to sue my business, SD GameSwap, for the crime of fixing their own shit.
Oh, so they were taking freedom to repair and using it against you. Okay.
Basically, yeah, they said that I had to pay them $35,000 for the license to fix their products.
Oh shit! That's not a law. That's just them being greedy.
I know it's not a law, but they said that they could tie me up in litigation for so long that I would go out of business. That they didn't give a shit about whether what they were doing was legal or right. They were doing what they were doing because they could. Because
they were losing a couple $100. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know that Adam and Eve had the very first computer. It was an Apple. Of course, it had very bad memory. One byte and everything crashed.
Yeah, I heard the software had a worm in it.
Hello.
Yeah. It doesn't help the only game they could play with Snake. How you doing, Dandelion?
I'm doing okay.
So are you the one that beat up Chris?
Did I beat up Chris? No, I'm like a half a continent away from Chris. Besides, I don't beat people up. That's just cruel.
Oh, okay.
I just say mean things and hurt them spiritually.
Oh, okay.
Not intentionally. I usually do it by mistake, but,
Unless you're LDG, then it's all automatically on purpose.
It's a
Sticks and stones might break their bones, but words will crush their spirit.
Something like that.
I hated that saying. 6 of them were going, the words never hurt me. Really? Try to get hit by a dictionary. That hurts.
Yeah.
Why? Have you been hit by a dictionary, Laku?
Yeah,
People throw dictionaries at you.
when I was a kid.
Are you like using words incorrectly?
Oh, shit. I said his name. There he is.
Hey, it's Pickles. Hi, Pickles. Yeah, no, I figured I might as well hop on because it doesn't sound like Chris is going to be streaming today.
Yeah, no wrap-up, no Bad Batch, no Name That Tune.
Well, he was
Bad
on.
Batch is another one I got to catch up on. Fuck. There's so many things I need to watch that, despite the fact that I was sick for 4 days, that I never got around to watching.
I don't even try and keep up with all the people's streams, unfortunately. I just don't have.
I'm talking about TV shows. As I said, Bad Batch. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't.
Season 2, I haven't watched, and season 3 just came out.
Right. Yeah, I don't watch much TV either. The only reason I'm watching Bad Batch is because we're doing the show about it. Mostly I've just been doing my doodly art lately, so.
You haven't seen that.
I even thought, oh, I'm sick, so I'm going to play Fallout for a little bit because I've been trying to replay Fallout New Vegas for like the last 2 years. And
that's probably not your best choice when you're sick. It's sort of like, well, I don't know how old you guys are, but when you were a kid and you'd stay home sick from school, and then that would be the only time you'd get to watch Spider-Man.
Yes.
And you'd start to feel better, and then you'd be watching Spider-Man, and then you'd feel worse because of all the like crazy like.
I'm older than that. We only had cartoons on Saturdays when I was a kid.
See, you didn't even know about Spider-Man being on at like, what was it, 11 or something? Well, and again, it might just have been in Canada.
Wait, which Spider-Man are you talking about?
That crazy one from the 70s.
Oh,
with Firestorm and Iceman?
Yeah, and all the crazy, like, everything was like in weird
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which one it was. Here, I'll see if I can find it.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
It was just it was a really poor, like it was a really low budget Spider-Man, right? Like they'd always show the same footage of him swinging from building to building and
the same changing of the pushing
but the whole thing and all the colors were like everything was like an acid trip, but not like a good acid trip. Like if you're on a bad trip, it would be like that. Maybe I'm speaking only for myself, but
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I'd always feel worse after I watched that.
I was thinking, I was like, the only Spider-Man I remember watching when I was sick was frickin' the Fox one on during the 90s.
Yeah, you're obviously way younger than me, so.
He's a kid.
Wait, what year were you born?
71.
Yeah, 84.
Yeah.
He's a kid.
Oh my God, you're a millennial.
Well, technically I'm a zillennial because I also identify with Gen X because a lot of the stuff that I went through, it was a lot of the Gen X stuff. Like, when you're out hanging out with your friends, what time do you go home? How do you know when to go home?
Well, we didn't have street lights, so I couldn't really say that.
Well,
when you heard your mom yelling from half a mile away.
It's when the streetlights come on. In the summertime, streetlights come on at 9 p.m. And I love it.
Oh, you guys had streetlights. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so I was usually already home by then. So
when I was a kid, I would leave for school in the morning on my bike, and I wouldn't come home at night until after the streetlights came on, and no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my childhood. We did stupid stuff like we'd build bikes out of mismatched parts, with like a tiny back wheel and a giant front wheel, and go off jumps into lakes and rivers.
I think kids still do some of that stuff,
Yeah, they
not
do
really.
it virtually.
My kids don't do that kind of shit.
They do it virtually.
But then not every kid did that kind of stuff, even back then. So,
God, I remember we once made a kind of. You remember Cool Runnings?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, and you know how they made like the bobsled that went down the asphalt on a hill?
Yes.
Yeah. So
we basically made one of those using old skateboard wheels and 2x4s. And we went to the top of a hill that went around a curve because the hill had a water tower on it. And we went down the hill, and then we forgot that there was a gate at the bottom, that there was like a 2-foot gap under the gate. So all the big kids bailed out of it while I was still in the thing because I was a little kid at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, after the gate is the fucking street. So I'm in an uncontrollable,
Device.
yeah, and I go off into the street, barely get hit by 2 cars, and the thing's on skateboard wheels, so there's no fucking clearance. So what happens when I hit the curb on the other side? The entire thing stops except for me because of the laws of inertia. So I go flying into somebody's fence 10 feet away, sliding down, getting splinters, and landing in ivy.
But look at the awesome story you have to tell about it.
But yeah, my kids don't have any of those stories.
I'm sure they have other stories.
Yeah, they have stories of what videos they posted on TikTok.
This is called the Stewart Street Slide in San Francisco. It's basically it's a huge slide people slide on all the time. It's one of the hidden features of San Francisco.
Delightful. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't do swings anymore, but I can still do slides.
Basically,
if you found that you can still do swings as a grown-up, I find like my internal organs get sloshed around too much and I get queasy if I do swings. But slides are okay.
You're going to do it 10 to 5 o'clock.
Oh.
Yeah, there's only certain hours you can actually slide.
Ah.
You stand at the bottom, so don't worry.
Yay. That's great. That makes you feel safer.
Oh, yeah. Nature's sandpaper. Just what I want to land on.
I like the gut checker at the end, too, in case you decide to go down on roller skates or rollerblades.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden things in the city. I'm like, they got Hogwarts doors. We got troll doors in the Golden Gate Park. You got the slide there. You got the arrow. You got a hidden fountain. You got the Yoda statue. A lot of hidden stuff in the city.
Cool.
Well, next week is my son's trip to the USS Midway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, do you want me to chaperone? Because I used to, your biggest sister, Caddy's, when she was a kid, I used to chaperone all their field trips. And he just goes, no.
Smart kid.
And I'm like, why? He's like, because you'll embarrass me. I'm like, yeah, but that's half the fun for me. He's like, it's not fun for me.
You know what? I never said that to my parents. I always thought that was like an unnecessary thing to say. It's like, I don't know. I guess I was more worried about embarrassing myself than my parents embarrassing me.
No, I never told my parents I was going on a field trip until the day before, day of, so they wouldn't volunteer.
Mostly my parents couldn't anyway because they were both working. So,
well, if I didn't have to work over 40 hours this week, I might try to sneak on the ship when he's there, just to annoy him.
yeah.
Because my roommate has the yearly passes where she can bring somebody on.
Nice.
And she can just bring me on and drop me off, and I get to hang out there as long as I don't leave, and then I can.
Oh, was your trip here today?
Oh, I just came for myself.
Yeah, that's such a parent thing to do.
And
I was sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, but again, do you don't want someone to go with you that knows all the planes and helicopters and knows about the Midway, what it's named after, why, what kind of carrier it is, how many nuclear power plants it had at one point? And he's just like, no, I don't care. I just want to hang out with my friends.
Well, I guess that.
I was thinking about hanging out with LDG for a couple of days because he has a gold pass to go to Disney World.
Oh, are you going to Florida?
I was looking at prices, and it's about the same price to spend 3 days in Orlando with airfare and hotel compared to 5 days in New York City airfare and hotel. It's about the same price.
It's nice that you've been traveling a lot lately.
I love
Did your finances improve, Elihu?
A little bit, yes.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. I like when people's finances improve.
Why do you think I haven't begged anybody for $1 or $5 in a couple months, several months?
You know what? I haven't been around enough to like have noticed if people are trying to get a few bucks. So, and then also I'm not like, I'm just slightly less well off than I was like a year ago because I had to move to a more expensive apartment because I had to move and all the apartments were more expensive. So I've sort of been trying to like watch my pennies a bit more.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my SSI transferred to different states.
Oh yeah, where are you thinking of moving to?
Alaska.
Alaska, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, plus after you live there for a year, you get a stipend from the state, don't you?
$800, $1,000 if you're a native, $800 if you're a transfer.
Is that a year or,
Yep.
or a month? Okay.
Yearly, guaranteed yearly. And a couple of years ago, everybody got like about $1,500 because of the huge boom.
Yeah. It's all based on the oil, right?
Exactly. That's why there's no lottery system in the state because everybody gets paid with through the oil company.
Nice. That's good.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Then you're still stuck living in Alaska, though.
The only difference I would figured out would be my finances. I'll be making like about $60 less than what I'm making now. I'm like, okay, $60, that's not really that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but plus after you're there for a year, you'll qualify to get that stipend. So.
Yep.
I don't know. As I said, to me, that may not be worth it right now.
Is weed legal there?
Yes, it is.
It is. Great. Good. That would seem to me be the other vital statistic.
The deciding factor.
Otherwise, you're going to have to like move to Alaska, but be on the like Canadian border so that you can like with Yukon, so you can like scoot over to like, get your fix.
Yeah,
just live out in the bush and step over the border. Time for a joint.
That's what I made sure when I was vacationing. Except I didn't really look into it when I was in Hawaii, but everywhere I went, cannabis was legal.
Nice. There are still places in the States where it's not, though. Yes.
Correct. Where it's recreational only.
Yeah, there's quite a few states where it's not legal. It is where I'm at.
Yeah, Hawaii,
recreational and medical. So.
Right.
Yeah, Hawaii is recreational only. So I had good thing I found some neighbors who lived in an apartment building next to the hotel I was staying at.
You mean medicinal only?
Yeah, medicinal. Yeah,
it's like recreational only is like the no problem one.
Yeah. I mean, the guy had his card. He's like, yeah, I'll even buy you a roll or something, man. He's like, no problem. Yeah, sure. So he got me heavy CBD with a little THC. I'm like, this is exactly what I need. Then I found a dispensary who's kind of legally, illegally selling it.
Right. That's all right.
Well, it used to be like here in Michigan before we made it legal recreationally. You could, if you know where to look, you could go pay any doctor you wanted to $20 and they'd sign a thing and give you a medical card.
Yeah.
That was like $35-$40 here. Yeah.
I definitely remember those jokes back here in California before it was made legal.
I swear my pinky. Okay, here's your medical marijuana card.
I remember people were handing out cards saying, "Oh, you have glasses. You could easily get a recreational card or a medicinal card because of glaucoma."
Yeah, yep.
I don't actually suffer from glaucoma. He's like, "You've got glasses. Trust me, you'll get it."
You got bad eyesight. It helps.
Gosh, so weird. Yeah.
And of course, we all know that our fears from the 80s were very well supported because society has fallen apart now that weed is legal.
Yes, my brain is a fried egg.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey, here in BC, we actually legalized small quantities of all drugs.
Psilocybins, like Oregon did.
No, like cocaine, meth, all that stuff. You don't get
I think Oregon did something like that too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, the idea is that the whole point is to I don't know. I was talking about this on another channel the other day. When you decriminalize people who are marginalized already, then it makes it easier for them to keep jobs
and get help.
Yeah.
Find housing, get help, right? Whereas if they're trying to stay under the radar and
and get locked up, yeah.
Or they're getting locked up and criminalized all the time, it doesn't sort of help us help them, right? Like we're ostracizing them when really they have a medical problem and they need help, not for society to make their life worse.
Not to lock them up where it's easier to get. It's easier to get stuff behind bars than it is out on the streets. That's a fact.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they have too much trouble getting drugs here in Canada of any sort. But the idea also not to. And again, it also doesn't really romanticize it because everybody's got that idea of, the shitty life of the people living on the streets, frickin' here in Vancouver. Oh, I know you have the same problem down in California, and I'm sure in other places. I find these warmer areas always have the worst, like the most looking homeless people. Because
I
kind
mean,
of live out in a tent in a sense.
Think about it. Nobody wants to sleep under a bridge when it's 20 below zero outside.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody, and it doesn't get that cold here, so.
It does in Alaska.
Yes.
It does in Michigan on a bad day.
Yeah,
I was thinking about going to Michigan, but I'm like, nothing really to do there.
Michigan's quite attractive. There's some nice places.
We might not be California, but we do have legal weed. Dang it!
So does Florida. So does New York.
Well, you have to get your passport. Then I can show you around the local area here in BC.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that if I ever visited there, I might be tempted to try cocaine again.
I don't. It's not that it makes it any easier to find these things. It's just not criminalizing people for carrying small quantities on their person.
No, I haven't had cocaine in 25 years ish. All I remember was 1, it really hurt my nose, and 2, I was able to do a shit ton of work in a very short period of time.
Yeah. You could also do what my dad did and get poison ivy when they prescribe you steroids for the bad poison ivy. He got it all over his face and arms and stuff because he was pulling it out in the garden, didn't realize that that's what it was. Since, you're wiping the sweat off your face with your poison ivy infested hands.
Poison oak is worse.
But man, when he was on steroids, did he get a lot of shit done around the house.
Probably put on some weight too, huh? Steroids.
I don't think
depends on the steroids.
He wasn't lifting or anything.
Antibiotic steroids, you don't put on that much weight.
And it wasn't for that long either.
Has anybody seen Quantumania yet?
No, me and Mrs. Viler are going to watch it this weekend, though.
Was it good?
I have not seen
it. I liked it. But there was just one part I really am like, what the hell?
Yeah, there's always a lot of that.
Okay, I'll tell you this: an opening sequence in the movie. It's not spoiling anything.
That's quite all right. I don't care if you spoil it. I already watched a review of it the other day.
Well, I prefer no spoilers if possible.
Well, I just got one question about the movie. How the hell do you get liquid water in the quantum realm?
You shrink it with it. You shrink with it.
You take it with you, I guess. I don't know.
You'll see what I mean when you watch the movie.
Yeah,
But I didn't realize until we were talking about going to see Quantumania that we also haven't seen Wakanda Forever yet. So we're going to watch that on Disney Plus, and then we're going to go see Quantumania.
I enjoyed Wakanda Forever.
I'm hoping I enjoy it because it's like I couldn't believe I hadn't watched it because I've been having to I haven't been dealing with the toys, but because one of our clients is a toy manufacturer, I'm in the toy aisle fairly often.
Right.
I've seen all the toys and I've been confused by some of them.
No
So
doubt.
I was like, I really need to watch this movie. And then I kept forgetting about it.
Great.
Yeah, there's a great tribute to Chadwick. They
Yeah,
have his
you know,
birthday on the license plates.
Well, there should be.
Yeah, they put his birthday on the license plate as a license plate number. I'm like, that's sweet.
All right,
But,
guys, I'm gonna get going. I'm still healing up from a couple weeks ago, and my sleep schedule isn't back to normal yet. So, thanks for having me on, Mike. Good talking to you.
No worries, boss.
Hey,
See you next week or so.
All right, sounds
Feel
good.
better soon.
Yep, take care, everyone.
So what else is new with you guys?
Nothing much. I've just been doing my reverse coloring. Here, I can show you a couple if you like.
Sure.
There,
I can make coffee.
So I do all the watercolors first. Hang on, I'm trying to put it where you can see it better. There we go.
Bigify her.
Yeah, and then
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I like that one.
yeah, that was the
Well,
one.
what do you mean by reverse coloring?
You put the color first, then you add the lines. So you
Oh.
start with hang on, sorry, I look like a bit of a mess this morning.
I thought that meant that you were erasing color from it.
Nope. So you start with like this, right? Just like watercolor.
Yeah.
And then
And
you
you-
add the lines.
You
and
create
then
your landscape.
shut like that,
Ah.
which is full of mushrooms. Hee. So
I'm guessing psychedelics.
no, there's some morels in there and all kinds of stuff. Then I did that forest one. I did a forest one. If you checked it out on Instagram, you would get to see them. February is our local art store has like the daily practice challenge in February. And I didn't do it last year because I was trying to find a place to live and I was trying to pack all my stuff and I was really stressed out. So I didn't do any last year, but I always try to do a different technique, like practice a different like art technique each February. And sometimes I do watercolors. Sometimes I think I did oil pastels a couple of years. And then, this year I was just sort of blobbed some watercolor and then I just start doodling on top of it.
I'll be right back.
It's definitely a lot more effort and talent than I seem to have. So congratulations on that.
It doesn't actually require a great deal of talent.
I'll be right back. I need you to
That's why I said effort and talent.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice because I sometimes get overwhelmed with a big blank page when I go to like draw things. It's just I can't figure out where to put stuff or what to put or what to draw. So if you just start with like random colors, like you wet the page and then add random color. And then once it's dry, it's dried into like patterns. And it's, like when you stare at your stucco ceiling and you start to see like animals and faces and constellations and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of works like that. You just sort of like, oh, well, that kind of looks like a flower, or that looks like a mushroom, or this looks like an octopus.
It looks like a map. So what I was thinking was there's a D&D thing that I have planned with the Vile Child and some of her friends.
Yep.
That is kind of like Japanese anime / Power Rangers inspired.
Cool.
Basically, each of the main characters gets a transformation trinket.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them are based on Power Rangers. One's based on Kamen Rider. One's based on Sailor Moon. That kind of stuff.
Nice.
And otherwise, they are classless characters, meaning they don't not even a cleric or anything. They're just completely useless, essentially.
I've played D&D. I understand.
Okay.
But I guess for those watching.
But the map that I originally made was on my old computer that got lost, and I haven't been able to remake the map.
Right.
If you could do like a 1 meter by 1 meter map that you'd paint like that with a grid pattern,
mm-hmm.
I'd use it and give you credit if we ever get this thing off the ground.
Cool. I don't have 1 meter by 1 meter, but I could certainly do one square, and then you could blow it up. Yeah, you could enlarge it. I think my largest would probably be like, well, I've got a 24 by 18 page, so I could do like, I guess 18 by 18.
Yeah. One of the other girls that did one that me and Mrs. Vile, the oldest Vile child played, had these big ass maps that were really helpful,
Mm-hmm.
which because of so everyone could see what they were doing.
Yep.
So that's what I want to try to do. But the map I had originally made, which was basically black, white, and red, and were the only colors I had on it at the time.
Right.
Was fairly large. I was kind of proud of it, but then when the computer died, when I tried to transfer over all the files, that was one of the ones that couldn't be transferred for reasons I don't know.
So map would be more like that.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So basically,
map. I thought you guys started saying map.
Map. Yes. Yes.
Originally,
those paper things in the old days, they used to tell you where you were going.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the McNally map.
Sure.
Because basically, I wanted to take wanted it to
Or
be
Mercator.
like a semi-islandish continent, but the one I had was based off of Europe at the time.
Right.
So, Europe without Asia attached to it, I should say. So there was like a large peninsular region. There was, an archipelago going off where the Spain-ish place was.
Right.
Other island nations, kind of like the UK and Ireland and stuff like that. Not in those locations, obviously, but that's how I started with that idea and I just built upon it. But it just, as I said, it did not come out, I couldn't finish it and I couldn't transfer it.
Right.
I'm mad about a lot of the stuff that I couldn't transfer from the old computer because it means that I'm not going to have access to those things when I start doing videos again. I'm going to have to start from scratch.
Right. Well, I could certainly draw something and doodle it because I'm always doing that anyway. And then I could send you, I guess, a digital copy. I mean, I'll take a photo of it and you can do it that way.
That would work too.
I could take a high-res photo. My phone is quite good. I could send it to you that way in a Dropbox.
I hate when I look at it and I realize my phone has a better camera than anything else I own.
I know. I have a really good DSL camera, like the single lens reflex, those ones. I have one of those. It's a digital one, but it's still, my camera is still better on my phone.
I got a good camera on my phone right here. Triple lens on here. So I'm like, hell, I love my camera.
Sure.
Except for I made
First, you
my
have
own
to unlock your
phone case.
device.
Shut up, Google. I don't want to talk to you right now.
Except for I made my own phone case with
I just
alcohol
have-
inks.
I have my
Well, I
stickers.
have the phone case and then I colored it myself because, it's what I do.
Then it's got my Hawaii and Alaska stickers on there.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm looking at just with my backup phones, and my backup phone is actually a better phone than my primary phone. But I use it for games and other stuff. The amount of memory that one picture takes up on that phone is more memory than my first computer could hold by a factor of 100.
25 of my memory phones can actually do 25 different Apollo 11 missions.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That just still gives me, I don't know. It's like the amount of technology increase that we've had, yet we still don't have shit like flying cars.
Actually, we do have.
You know what?
Cars.
I don't want flying cars. People can't drive on the freaking ground. I don't want them over my head.
There are flying cars, by the way.
Okay, the flying cars like the Pinto with wings don't count.
It's not a Pinto. It's a Toyota.
That's better.
I've seen it. The wings fold
Hold
back.
Apparently, Deej is going to do Jackbox tonight.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't
shall
see
see.
that.
Where is it?
I'm chatting with Chris. He always gives me the deets.
Okay, hold on. I gotta show something.
Yeah, I had to add the US to my texting plan because my boss is often down at our US facility, and my cell phone bill was like jumping up by like $50 a month, even if he just sent me a couple of texts
Ooh.
from the US farm. So for $20 a month, I added the US, which is kind of nice because half of you people are down in the States. So when you text me, it's not, I mean, all the people I know on YouTube, a lot of them in the States.
You
So
people,
you
I'm
guys-
like, we're not sheep. Come on.
Well, if
so
you
you
want
can
to,
text me and it won't cost me
if
anything.
you shoot me a message on Twitter or Facebook or my email, I'll go ahead and give you my number so you can text me whenever you want.
Dude, I text you, it says the number won't send. What the hell's going on here?
My number or her number?
Yours.
I don't know why.
So, Vile, what you're saying is you would like
I think
my
as of
cell
right now, I
phone
think
number?
Elihu and Bird of Prey are the only ones that have my number. And Bird's had my number for like 2 years, and despite the fact that I can text him and he can text me, I think we've texted each other twice in 2 years. And it's more of like, haven't seen you around. You alive? Here, this is what I was going to show when you're talking about flying cars. Window. There we go. Here we go. No, not that one.
Which one? Oh, it's all a circle of death.
I tried to share the wrong window. All right, do you see that?
That's not what I was talking about.
That is
that wing even
Spirit of
on
San
correctly?
Diego.
That doesn't
Sorry?
look like it's got like enough of a like the angles don't look right on that wing.
Well, it's the whole thing is a joke. It's called the Spirit of San Diego. It's got a wing modeled after the Spirit of St. Louis because the Spirit of St. Louis was built here in San Diego. And it is currently on display at the San Diego Air and Space Museum Annex in El Cajon. So you can actually go and see it
the
for
wing
free.
doesn't look right. I mean, it's probably a wing from an actual plane, but
The whole thing is a joke, but it's still on display.
Hang on, I'm trying to actually find the actual car that flies. Here it is.
all right, Mike. I just sent you my cell number on Twitter.
Okay.
The only thing I use Twitter for is messaging people.
Same here for the most part lately.
Because I just ugh. There's too much like hatred and vitriol on there.
Rock Solid finally posted a video about him repairing that Game Boy Advance that I sent him a while back. So literally the only messages I was sending this week was about, hey, do you want to do another one? That way you can, because he gives me credit for sending it to him, at least the store credit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Here's the flying car.
That looks much fancier.
Yeah.
I
No,
still don't. I don't.
San Diego looks
I don't want
sexier.
people in flying cars. Sorry. I just no.
It's
That's a
between
note for
Porsche.
me on people in flying cars. People are terrible drivers.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
See, the wings fold back.
How many times do we see cars crashing into buildings now?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's too much room for error in a flying car.
And you just know the way things are, at least, I'm not kidding about this. There was a car that I saw, I think it was about a week and a half ago. This guy had welded what looked like AK-47s to his hood.
What?
And he was driving around with American flags and Trump flags and Russian flags.
Oh, geez.
And I was just like, and of course he had on this back window, you can take my guns from my cold dead hands.
And you're thinking, well, that won't take long.
And I'm just like, oh my God. I have no idea if the guns were functional or not. I know that they're illegal if they're functional, but it wouldn't surprise me if the guy still put functional guns on his fucking car.
Yeah, that seems kind of like,
that's idiotic.
And I could easily see someone putting guns or something on a flying car and being like, I'm going to take, I can take out the enemy.
Yeah.
Paint it black and act like it's the bat wing. Take this, Joker. But this car looks pretty cool. This flying car looks pretty cool. I want it.
I don't.
Look somewhat cool.
Yeah, I don't want one. I'd rather have a dedicated thing that can do both jobs very well, not each job shittily.
Yeah.
No, basically the video shows it driving, then it shows it flying. See, the wings fold out, and you take off and fly.
Yeah, they've literally had stuff like that since the 70s, so it's not all that impressive to me.
It looks a little like something Homer Simpson would invent, to be honest.
Hey, it's street legal.
So, my voice is still out. I can't really do the Homer Simpson thing.
That's okay. We knew what you meant.
Nuts.
I think my voice has been getting progressively worse during the live stream.
Could be. You may have to. Did you have the COVID?
Yes, that's why I didn't stream last week.
I knew you were sick, but I didn't remember if it was COVID or something else.
I just thought it was strep throat.
Mm.
Well, I had strep throat, COVID, and that led to bronchitis and pneumonia.
Super duper. Thanks, body.
Fun.
Get all the bugs.
I made the joke that I blamed Mrs. Vile because we're pretty sure that she's the one who gave me strep throat.
Speaking of, hola, Mrs. Cardenas.
Yes, and she's in the house.
Nice. Yes.
And I don't care if she got me sick. I still love her. So
you talk about
and it's not like she did it on purpose or something.
No. And Captain MKG is there. If you guys want to come up, you can. The link should still be pinned.
I believe it is.
I believe so. I mean, it was when I was there, so presumably it still is there.
I think other than talking with Mrs. Vile, this is the longest conversation I've had in the last week.
Nice.
And I even had
one question about the map. One question about a map. Did you want like the continent to be like? Did you want the map to be like of an island with sub islands, or do you want it to be like just part of a greater whole where it's sort of like the landmass disappears off into the surrounding area?
My original was more of an island. Like think of, as I said, Europe without Asia attached.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. That's why I was asking. Cool.
But don't limit yourself. Just do whatever you want.
Sure. Well, I'll see. I'll measure out a square on my paper, and I'll.
In my experience, beggars can't be choosers. So if you're doing something for me that I'm not paying you for, you have carte
Did you want to hear there be? Did you need to hear there be monsters?
No.
Oh, damn it!
If you want to put one, you can do it anyway. But I'm just saying,
I can't do an octopus out in the ocean. It sucks.
Well, if you've played D&D, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea behind this is basically the world that it is has no magic.
Right.
So, while there are going to be monsters, even stuff like Trasks,
yes,
all their innate abilities that are magically based are gone.
Right.
The only way you have any magical powers is from these transformation devices that the main characters get.
Right. But our world is somewhat magic deficient, and we have Here There Be Monsters on maps in the oldie days.
Well, it's because we did have monsters. We just killed them all.
Yeah.
We killed them with science.
Yeah.
Blinded me with science.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to see. I don't know how it'll turn out. It might not be at all what you're looking for, but.
And Captain MKG, I got to ask, why are you doing your best me impression?
Oh, because I haven't combed my hair or done anything today. So.
Oh, I had the same problem.
Hey, I kind of comb my hair.
Bushy hair.
Kind of combed
Yeah.
it.
I mean, you cut that into a goatee, you'll look exactly like my avatar.
I just did bushy hair today.
Yeah, I just patted my hair down.
I think I went to bed with it wet or something. It's always a disaster.
Well, don't worry, Vilemike. I'm keeping the beard. So.
Unfortunately, right now, all I do have a beard, but that's just because when I was sick, I was like, I'm not shaving.
That's been my motif for the past couple of years, so I'm not shaving.
But going back to the whole beggars can't be choosers thing, is like when Yitzi made the avatar for me here.
Mm-hmm.
Literally the only change that I had him made for this entire thing was, I'm like, dude, you did a fantastic job. Make sure you put your name somewhere on there so you can get some credit for it. And if you look at the bookshelf or the book spine on the lower right-hand side, it actually has his name on there.
Oh.
That was the only change I had him made.
I should have thought of that.
It's too tiny to see on my my laptop. Yeah, no, I still can't see it, but
it's too pixelated.
Yeah, there's no way he could put his name on my avatar.
But yeah, that was the only change I asked him to make.
Couple bird.
I just stole the logo from a local liquor store.
Yeah, as you told me last time.
Yeah, mine's an original Yitzy, and so is Bird's.
Nice.
How you doing, Bird?
Hello, world. Turtle Prey 5, Cuppa.
Cuppa.
Bird.
I just got here. Who are we talking about?
You.
Oh, we're
Flying
just
cars.
drifting from subject to subject.
Yeah, we're just
And
meandering
then
today.
whose logo?
We're complaining about how many gnomes there are in Queens compared to Manhattan and Hell's Kitchen. Too many gnomes.
What? Were we? I missed that part.
I'm messing with Bird.
We should bury all the gnomes.
How many
Throw
gnomes
them
do you
in.
have? How many gnomes do you have in your garden?
I don't have garden gnomes.
Oh wow, that's a
I
rarity.
don't have any either, so.
That's a rarity, Bird. Look where you live.
We had to kick one guy from sleeping on our grass once, years ago.
I remember back when I was a
planter,
night
though.
security guard, I had a homeless guy that I caught sleeping on the stairs of one of our entrances, and I'm just like, that could not have been comfortable, dude. What the hell? I don't know how he managed to do that, but he like he rolled up a shirt, was sleeping on one step, with his body laying on across the rest of the steps, and it's just like,
How?
That's
yeah,
safer
exactly.
than
It could not have
sleeping
been
on the
comfortable.
street.
Yeah.
So
When you're homeless, you're not worrying about comfort.
the
Yeah.
funny thing is, what happened was the guy was recently homeless. He had gotten a divorce, and his wife basically had gotten everything.
Yeesh.
And because his wife's dad was his employer, he also lost his job.
Ugh, man.
He
So he
really
went
probably should have worked harder on his marriage.
well,
And don't keep all your eggs in one basket.
Why not?
But,
You want to carry 12 baskets around? Come on, that's dumb.
well, as I said, it has a semi-happy ending. The guy ended up after being homeless for like a couple of weeks, and I discovered him. I told him about one of those sign spinning places, and he's like, "I'm not too proud. I'll go ahead and get there." And I lent him a pen to fill out an application, and the sign spinning place let them use their address as his home address so he could get mail. Gave him a job. Gave him an MP3 player so he could listen to stuff while he worked. And he
Nice.
came back like 2 or 3 months later to give me back that pen
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
because he was like, dude, I know it sounds stupid, but you giving me this pen was probably the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me.
Wow.
And I was just like, well, you're welcome. Thank you for returning the pen, even though it was, not necessarily a great pen. It was just.
Well, I think it was probably more that he just wanted to come and say thank you for,
Yeah.
helping him instead of just kicking him off your curb.
Well,
Just
technically, as a security guard, I'm supposed to call the cops on him. So but calling the cops on the homeless, even as a security guard, just seemed like a dick move.
All they do is just tell you to go somewhere else. Yeah, it's a waste of police time.
Surprised this police would even come out like that.
Oh, Bird, this is a residential place that can afford security guards. It was rich.
Yeah,
the cops
and
were
that's
come
what
out
the
for the rich
security
people.
guards, but still to get the police to actually show up.
Yeah, it's a waste of police time. The police just say homeless, okay, go somewhere else, and they'll just write the report and leave. It's a waste of police time. But you do something more important than that. I understand where Mike came from.
Yeah, JP's, as I was saying, he's doing his best Vilemike impression.
No, he's not. He has hair. It's not a glare.
Hold on. Now I'm hearing an echo.
Oh, let me mute.
Do you have YouTube up at the same time? Oh. You have echo cancellation on your settings? Okay. Then all you can do is nod your head yes.
Yeah, but JP's, I like otters more than beavers. And I don't know. I've never seen an angry beaver so very much anyway.
You never seen a cartoon?
I've seen a beaver that looked very angry.
Well, I mean, they can look upset when they're slapping their tails and stuff, but
How's it sound now?
Slapping.
Seems good.
Okay. I think I figured out the problem.
But I was saying, I do have some hair. See, I got some hair.
The glare, the shine.
Little whiskies.
See, that's my messed up hair. I'm not going bald. I've had this widow's peak for as long as I can remember, but I know I'm going bald because if I look at the back, it starts right around here.
Bum, bum, bum. Yep.
They have a spray can to help that.
Yeah, I'd rather go bald.
Yeah. Good choice.
I tried. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I tried the Rogaine before, and it seems like it works, but I'm like, that's just too much effort. I'd just rather would just go bald.
That's why they have hair in a can, man. Just spray it on.
I remember giving hair in a can to my high school science teacher because he was going bald. I thought at 16, I thought it was hysterical. 2 years later, I noticed my own bald spot after I graduated. Son of a bitch.
Karma.
We did talk about the stupidity of flying cars for a little bit, Cinnabon.
Yeah, we did. And who is that?
Cinnabon's just jealous that if everybody could fly cars, they won't need pilots. That's LDG's new underground.
No, we don't need flying cars. Like, that is the worst idea. People suck. There's no way I want them flying cars.
I just think of all the people
have AI
who have been pulled over along the highway for running out of gas.
And
they would all just be dead.
Oh, yeah. God.
They'd all be dead.
Yeah, it would just be such a freaking shit show.
Yeah,
as we're talking, I've got an airplane flying over, and I'm just now thinking, oh, great, he's going to run out of gas and crash right into the park.
Hey, did you hear about the plane from Hawaii that took a dip that landed about 800 feet above the water and quickly gained altitude again before it landed?
No.
I think I heard something about that, but I didn't pay too much attention about it.
There was a flight from Hawaii to SFO about 100 miles off the coast of California. It just suddenly took a dip and landed about 800 feet above the ocean, and people were freaking out. Yeah, it was mechanical error. Then quickly regained altitude again before it made an emergency landing.
How do you land 800 feet above the ocean?
No, it dropped to about 800 feet above the ocean. It just dropped.
They do that sometimes. Wind
Yeah,
shear.
but
Air
from
pocket, not
25,000
mechanical
feet to 800 feet, no.
No, there's no way it dropped from 25,000 to 800. I'm sorry. They'd
It's
be
about
dead.
25,000 and it just dropped.
It did
Okay,
not drop
Elihu,
24,000
It's not
feet.
like it just dropped. That's not how frickin' wings work.
I know that.
I mean, remember, those things are designed to be able to glide for periods of time. They don't just fall out of the sky. And JP's is saying exactly what I was talking about. You know, some idiot was going to put guns on it.
Imagine throwing your trash out the window of a flying car, okay? Try to get hit by that.
I think if you want a flying car, just get your pilot's license and go fly a plane. I mean, come on, a Cessna is kind of like driving a Chevette.
Funny you should say that. When I was in high school, one of my best friends got his pilot's license while everyone else was getting their driver's license.
Yep.
So he was legally able to fly when everyone else could just drive.
I was thinking about getting my pilot's
one of the things we tried to convince him to do was to let us go skydiving.
Yep.
But he said the only way he could do that is if there was an emergency, and he wasn't going to fake an emergency and lose his license just so we could go skydiving.
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable choice. Yeah. Yay! Another doodle finished. Enough. I don't feel like doodling on this one anymore.
It is illegal to throw crap out of a plane.
It is illegal to throw a moose out of a helicopter in Alaska.
Not too much government rules involved with getting a pilot's license. It depends on the pilot's license, but yes, for the most part, a civilian license is fairly easy to get.
How much does it cost to get a pilot's license?
Thousands of dollars because you have to pay for the fuel while you're practicing.
Oh, shit.
Okay, well, that doodle is doodled.
Yeah, but if you have access to the planes, as I said, he took us up and, as a 16-year-old, taking 3 other 16-year-olds in a rented, I want to say Cessna, but I have no idea if it was an actual Cessna or not.
Mm-hmm.
And just going up into the air for a few hours, and it cost us like $200 to, fly for a couple hours. I mean, the fuel might be expensive, but it's not that expensive at the time.
But to get your license, you have to do that like many, many, many times. It's not like a car driving license where you can like go for 5 drives and then get your license. You have to go for like, I actually don't know how many, but you have to have a certain number of hours of fly time and learn certain techniques.
I think it took him like 6 months to a year to get his pilot's license.
Right. So say you're going up for an hour.
He was able to get his pilot's license before he turned 16. That's the craziest part. Is there's almost like no age restriction on it.
Yeah, you can be 12 and get a pilot's license.
Yep. Okay, why is there a dog?
I was flying it too.
Okay, that was just because your dad didn't give a shit and he was trying to throw you off that cliff.
Exactly.
I mean, I've flown a plane a couple of times, but that's it.
Nope. Closest to flying a plane was putting my hands on the wheels while he went to piss in a bottle in the back of the plane.
I was glad to have taken like learning about it and doing some flying lessons because I actually am a much more comfortable when I'm in a plane now. Not because I think I could take over or anything like that, but I understand more how everything works. And that made me more comfortable flying because I used to get a little nervous from turbulence. And now I'm like, yeah, bring on the turbulence. Because, you're paying a lot of money for that flight. You might as well have some exciting. It might as well be an exciting ride, I say.
No turbulence while I'm eating soup, please.
Oh, I don't think I've ever eaten soup on a plane.
Oh, yeah. Here's a little tip for you guys. If you do not want to piss off a flight attendant, do not order a diet soda because it takes longer to pour. About 2 seconds longer to pour than a regular soda because of the altitude. That's how you upset a flight attendant.
It's Mike. Mike left.
Yeah, that's how you upset a flight attendant. Order diet soda.
Mike left, so the sub Mike will have to fill in until he's back.
Mike.
No, Wolfer?
Alternate Mike.
Yes, alt Mike.
Ah.
So
That's you.
That's me. Yes.
Alternate Mike. We got it.
Mhm. So yeah. Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that. I had to refresh the window because apparently it started to have issues again.
As it does.
Corn album, man.
Yeah, and JP's is right. There are height restrictions for a lot of planes. When I was trying to go into the U.S. Navy, one of the things I thought about being was trying to be a pilot because my dad was a pilot.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't really a pilot. He was able to fly planes, but he wasn't a pilot, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like
you were too tall?
He always flew co-pilot or navigator. He was never primary pilot because he was a master chief on the maintenance side, not on the flying side, if that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
But so I thought I'll try to be a pilot in the Navy, and they were like, nope, you're too tall. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
You have under 6 foot to become a pilot.
But you have to be over a certain height, don't you?
5'8" to 6 foot.
So how did Tom Cruise ever get to be a pilot in Mission Impossible?
Because he's 5'10" in the movie.
Oh, as opposed to like what, 5'6" in real life?
Yeah. He's different heights in different movies.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's like 4'11".
No. One of my exes met him, and he said he was about the same height as me. So
yeah, he's a short guy.
Slightly shorter than me.
But I cannot stand him personally, but I give him major kudos for doing all of his own personal stunts. That guy is dedicated to that.
I don't care one way or the other for him, but I usually enjoy the movies he's in.
That's
because he what? Exactly, Mike. Yeah, I saw this one video where he was trying to do this where he was, in the middle of filming the movie, and he was trying to promote another movie at the same time, and you see the director's like, yeah, we gotta go, we gotta get the shot. He's like, okay. Then he just jumps off the plane, just does a little stunt. I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. So Jack Talker, there's no height requirement to get the pilot.
Yeah, Cinnamon. Cinnamon. That is correct. It's only a minute. I could still get a pilot's license for anything else,
yes.
But
yes,
and yeah,
could not
JP's
join
is right.
me.
He also does own his own P-51 Mustang, which pisses me off because he not only owns a P-51, he owns a P-51D, one of the greatest prop fighters ever created.
No, the Spitfire is.
No, the 51D wipes the floor with any of the Spitfires.
No, I still say a Spitfire is unfortunately, it's one of the best fighting planes there is for a dogfight.
No. With the P-51, you got the visibility with the bubble canopy, you've got the range, and you've got the freaking 8 guns. I'm sorry. The Spitfire
is more maneuverable. It's more maneuverable. It can outmaneuver.
I don't care. Man. I don't care. World War II, it's all about getting that height. And the P-51D could outclimb anything in that theater.
Okay, you got me there. Yeah, but I still love the maneuverability of the Spitfires. I'm sorry.
How can you maneuver with no wings?
Speed and rate of climb beats maneuverability any day of the week. Like that. Sorry.
Did LGG just ask a question? Did he just speak?
Yeah, I said, how can you maneuver without any wings?
Spitfire has wings.
Not when they're shot off.
Directional rockets?
I'm saying if you got the altitude,
normally they didn't
that
have
means you
anything
can
like
shoot
that.
them down. Never mind. Don't mind me.
Never do.
Having breakfast here.
Oh, a sausage with mustard and ketchup?
No. Omelet with ketchup.
Scrambled eggs with ketchup, not an omelet, dude.
I had
Wrong.
bacon and buckwheat pancakes for breakfast.
Actually, a scrambled omelet, but yeah.
Thank you. I had someone say that it's not a scrambled omelet, it's scrambled eggs, and I disagreed.
A
Because
scrambled.
it starts out as an omelet and just falls apart, that's a scrambled omelet. If you
Exactly.
intend to make scrambled eggs, that's scrambled eggs.
It's a
Yes.
broken omelet.
No, it's a scrambled omelet.
Nope. No, I actually scramble it.
I'd rather have scrambled eggs
Fine.
than scrambled
Starts
omelets.
off like an omelet and gets scrambled.
Yeah, that totally is a scrambled omelet. That's fine.
Remember, you can't have scrambled eggs before an omelet.
Sure, you can. You can scramble. You can
No, because the
scramble them
very
as you
the very
pull them in.
first second, well, yeah, exactly. I think that's the only way. But if you just like do it the normal way, the second it cooks in the pan, it's a flat omelet.
You're trying to make a quiche, aren't you?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So if you scramble it in the pan, it still was an omelet for a split second before you started scrambling it.
Not
Scramble-
if you put the eggs in without mixing them first. If you start, then it starts off as a fried egg and turns into scrambled eggs.
Okay, but we gotta stop talking about food.
Don't
I'm
ever
getting
agree with
hungry.
LDG about cooking eggs. You'll always be wrong, and you'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah, please. I'm starting to get hungry, by the way.
I guess the only way you
In
could
fact,
do it is
don't
if you have
ever
a ton of-
agree with LDG about anything,
I frequently
always
agree
be
with LDG
wrong.
about things.
and you'll never hear the end of it.
The problem is when you actually agree with LDG, he assumes that means he's right about everything else as well.
It's
And
funny
he-
when I am actually right, other people think that means I'm actually right about everything. That's what cracks me up. So keep going on with that bandwagon, Vilemike. What else? Because I'm
LDG,
the only
you are the
person who
broken
doesn't
clock
actually
of the
believe that.
internet.
I'm the
LDG, you're the broken clock of the
but I'm-
internet. You're right twice a day, and you just think you're right at all points.
Well, that's because I'm in motion. If you're in motion with the earth, then you're right 12 times a day, 24 times a day.
Oh God! See, he doesn't even know
A
how
broken clock
does
is
it.
Oh my
always right
gosh.
if you're traveling with the sun.
We are traveling with the sun. Yeah, it's right twice a day, not 12 times a day.
Only if you're not moving.
Nobody's moving with the sun.
I am.
Oh man. Aren't we moving and the sun is like semi-stationary as far as we're
No,
concerned?
the sun is also rotating
No,
around
no.
the galactic core.
I know it's also rotating, but not like relative to us. We're not necessarily noticing that so very, very much as we are noticing that, you know, it appears
Well-
the sun is moving, but it's actually us moving around the sun.
Yes, we orbit the sun. The sun
science hasn't been
orbits
settled
the galactic center,
on that
otherwise
yet.
known as Sagittarius A1, the black hole.
Well, Elihu
That's
will
only
also
because you
agree
don't
with
see
me on this. The Berry Center, which is the center of the solar system of the the Berry Center of the solar system, is not the center of the sun. It's within the sun, but it's not the center of the sun. So all the planets rotate around that point.
I argue everything revolves around the center of the universe, which is me.
You're not that fat. Come on.
Oh, geez, that's cruel. Don't be mean.
Nothing
Jeez,
to do with my
Elihu.
weight.
Besides, compared to you, Elihu, we're all fat.
Why? Because I'm
You're
toned.
like you're pretty like I was gonna say scrawny,
Well, let's see.
but I don't know if that's like cruel to say scrawny.
Scrawny. You see my top
I'm
Lanky.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I'm the heaviest one here. I'm 292.
You're heavier than I am.
Yeah, me too.
I'm heavier than.
You seen a picture without me without a shirt
Oh,
on?
LDG, you're heavier than
LDG
me.
wins again.
320.
How heavy are you, LDG?
320.
How tall are you though?
5'10".
Oh damn.
That's really
I'm
like
6'2".
5'6".
I'm 5'11", 170, and it's mostly bulk, muscle.
Looks like mostly bones.
Dude, I am not skinny.
I'm teasing you, for crying out loud, dude. Settle down.
Fine, I'll smoke a bowl.
Why you look like
Tear
someone
off
wrapped
your shirt and
cheesecloth
show.
around a skeleton, okay?
I'm just saying, if all 6 of us were standing in a group, you would probably look like the skinniest person.
Yeah, I would. I'm,
Standing in
Yeah,
a group.
you would look pretty scrawny.
I am thinner compared to Michael.
Yeah, I was gonna say Michael right below me looks like a fairly less overweight person.
I mean, quick check. I mean, it's not that bad.
You all look fine.
Oh,
you
yeah,
all look
you're nothing
fantastic.
compared to me.
Cha cha cha.
Yep.
I'm not body shaming anyone. Everyone here looks perfectly awesome.
Yeah,
All good.
I have no muscle on my calf. It's atrophied. Both my calf muscles are atrophied because of my feet.
Yeah, but
if
they're
I could lose
still
100
strong enough
pounds,
that
I'd
you
be
can
happier.
stand.
Yes, they are.
If I could lose 30 pounds, I'd be happier.
That's why I learned to ride a bicycle using my knees and on my ankles.
You have like feet problems, Elihu?
Yeah, but my ankles.
I don't know how
80%
big I
used.
look,
Mm.
but you know, if you were to look at me from the side, I got plenty of girth in this area. You know what I mean?
Alfred Hitchcock profile.
I know exactly what you mean. I have plenty of girth myself.
I got all the right girth in all the right places.
Weren't you the one complaining about like when you get fat, your penis disappears?
No, mine
Well,
didn't.
he's hung like a he's what he's complaining about. He's hung like a tuna
Disappeared
can.
before
He's
that.
hung like a titmouse.
I seem to remember you complaining about that, LDG.
Nah, I think that's in your imagination.
It was my imagination, or it was just backstage, and what happens backstage just stays backstage.
Oops.
Mm,
Yeah, I may have been slightly inebriated on some of those late night streams we were doing, but I remember things people say.
Slightly inebriated.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I don't have to be particularly inebriated to be silly and ridiculous. So.
Especially when you get licked by a cat.
Ugh, blech, yuck. Cats are so gross. Can't stand that. Yuck.
All right. I'm going to head out of here, Mike. I got to go take care of a few things, but just popping in to say hello and hope everybody's going to have a good one.
You
All righty.
too.
Take care.
Nice
Later,
to see you
dude.
again.
Nice to see you all too. Bye, everyone.
Later, man. I'm waving by. My camera's off. Sheesh.
I know, I waved by as well.
I'm like, yeah, later. I'm like, oh shit, my camera's off. Duh. Later, Mike.
Yeah.
I think I either need more caffeine or weed. I don't know yet.
I don't want to change the direction of the stream. Just one question for Vile if he's listening.
You can change the direction. Our stream has been extremely
I
good.
don't. I really don't.
Because that laughing like that made me start coughing, and I didn't want to cough on the stream. That's the only reason I muted myself.
Okay. Vile, did you see Picard?
I still haven't seen season 2 yet, so no.
Okay, well, you don't have to see season 2 yet. So are you intending to see season 3 or no?
Yes, I'm going to watch it after I finish Doctor Who and watch season 2 of Picard first.
Okay, so no time soon. That's fine. Gotcha. Virtual.
Yeah,
no.
I'd prefer no spoilers right now.
Okay.
I appreciate it, though. And is it just me, or does LDG's bedroom look like it's starting to turn into a sex dungeon? The black.
Yeah,
Well,
black-
he's
blackout
going to be
curtains.
recording a adult video there later today. So
Yeah.
Ah, the blackout curtains. Gotcha.
I thought Chris was the only one with a sex dungeon.
he's the only one that actually has it in a dungeon.
Right.
This is in the garage.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, remember,
And
you
y'all
can't
who
have
live in
dungeons
Florida,
in
it's not a
Florida.
good
I have a
idea
kettle
to
that's
have
almost
underground
boiling. I'll be
dungeons
right
in
back.
Florida.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
also the only one who publicly announces it. But yeah, thanks, Bert.
Okay, so maybe I shouldn't go through Orlando.
You know, you don't want to go through.
Oh yeah, I heard you were coming to Orlando. What the hell, dude?
Now I was thinking about it. I was like, different price between that and New York. I'm like, where should I go? Where should I go? Where should I go?
Yeah, man, come on down.
One's a town built entirely for tourists, and the other smells
Dandelion,
like urine.
I finally
So-
responded to you on Twitter.
So Orlando's instead of New York. No, if I stay in Orlando, it'll be by the West Disney Gate, and if I stay in New York, it'll be by Central Park.
Well, there's probably less meth and crack addicts.
God, I can't even
You know,
remember. It's been so long since I've been to New York. It's been like 16 or 17 years since I've been to New York, and all I did was spend the entire time in a hotel. I didn't really do much sightseeing.
I mean, I was looking at there's lots of stuff to do. You can take a tour of the harbor, Statue of Liberty, go top, see 9/11 Plaza. You can go top Empire State Building still. I can catch a play. I can take a little hopping off city tour bus. I can hang out, go to Queens for a day.
Sorry, New York just does not appeal to me. I don't know why.
I can hang out with PJ. If I go to Orlando, it's just Disney.
Not necessarily. There's other things you can do here.
Oh, and Elihu, and I was looking up comparisons between the Spitfire and the P-51. The only Spitfire that apparently is better than the P-51 is the Spitfire 16. So I would have to say that you're probably right if you're talking about that specific Spitfire. The rest of them would be nothing compared to the P-51D.
Yeah, the 16 has the pointed nose. The others have the rounded one, right?
I'm not exactly sure which one based on looks,
Oh,
to be honest. So
yeah, I'm
but
still
yeah,
partial to the Spitfires.
the one that the images that they're showing still has a connected canopy, so you're not going to have the visibility you would in the P-51D.
I'm still partial to the Spitfires. I won the lottery this first man I'm buying.
Yeah, and again, even then, it still only has 4 guns compared to the 8 on the P-51. So they're almost comparable in every other facet, though.
Remember when Coca-Cola or Pepsi did that stupid gotcha freaking joke where they're like, "Oh, get a F1 Hornet or something like that," or
It was
a Harrier or some
Harrier
shit.
jump jet, and yeah, they got sued over it.
They thought nobody would get the points for it, but somebody did.
Well, no, it was not that they didn't think someone would get the points for it. They thought it was a joke. They thought no one would take it seriously, but one dumbass did, and he, because of the whole thing where you could buy
One dumbass.
points, he actually raised money to buy enough points to get the quote unquote however million of points it would have been to get the Harrier.
It's kind of like what was that? Deal or No Deal. Some guy got the Zonk prize and he really wanted it, but there was a Zonk prize. It was really no prize at all. But the guy was like, wanted to do the show, and he finally got ownership of the donkey.
Mm.
He's like, I want a donkey. I want the donkey.
Hey, we don't kink shame here. We might point them out, but we won't shame them.
I think the guy gave it to the zoo or something. Like a matter of principle.
All right, here we go.
So I'm probably only going to go for the 2 hours because I can already feel my voice dying on me. So anything you guys want to talk about before I end the stream?
Not really.
Since you haven't seen Picard, I can't talk about that. Or
Well, do you guys want to plug anything?
Or Quantum Mania, you can't talk about that.
I have a kettle attempting to boil behind me, so I have to be muted so that I'm not disrupting everything.
Mm.
At 2:30 Eastern, we've got Twilight Zone. The first episode has Louise Fletcher, aka the actress who played Kai Wynn. So that should be a particularly interesting episode of the Twilight Zone.
I still like Kyle Parker better. I don't know why they killed
Everybody likes Kai Opaka better.
Well, sorry, they didn't kill off who left on that planet. I'm like, oh, come on.
Kai Opaka is still alive on that planet. Maybe
I
she'll
know.
be in Picard.
Isn't the actress dead though?
Then they can computerize her.
Yeah.
Is the actress who plays Kai Opaka dead?
I think so.
Actress who plays Kai Opaka.
I think it was like last year or something like that.
Okay, by the way, while Bird looks it up,
You're thinking of Kai Wynn.
Yeah, she passed away in October of 2021.
No, but before her.
Yeah, Camille.
That was Kyle Parker.
Savoya,
Camille Savoy.
2021.
I'm pronouncing that entirely wrong. I know that.
Oh, by the way, Mike, there is a spoiler I'm going to tell you about Picard. There's a screen that says, for Annie.
Sorry, I was trying to mute you before you got to it.
There's a screen that
What'd
says
you say?
There's a screen that says for Annie.
Okay. Sorry, you said, is Annie
What the hell
okay?
is that
Are
supposed
you
to
okay?
mean?
Are you okay, Annie?
No, and the Borg Queen. There's a dedication for her.
I was making a joke.
Oh.
God damn it.
I'll be honest, I
And I
didn't know
got
who
that one.
Annie was when I saw the show.
Oh. Yeah, it was a dedication to her.
Did the actress
Heard she was a smooth criminal.
way or something?
The
Yes.
actress was in season 2 of Picard, but not season 3.
Right.
Yeah, she recently passed away. And she was like one of the most bubbliest person people ever met.
LDG, you doing anything this week that you want to plug?
Besides what's going on in your dungeon?
Ah,
Your sex?
not
sex room?
really. The underground's open for today. If you guys want to come by, freethenet.org/underground.
No, lucky me, I have to work after the live stream because I want to make sure I have this weekend free so I can, because this weekend is Mrs. Vile's birthday.
Nice.
Woohoo.
So
Happy
that's why we're
birthday
going to go
to
see
Mrs. Vile.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, or Quantumania, whatever it's called.
And
Plus, it's also
Quantumania.
her oldest niece's birthday as well. So we're going to be doing that on Sunday after the live stream on Sunday.
Nice.
There are end credit scenes, by the way, so stick around, man. It's Marvel.
Well, we usually check to see if there's a stinger, regardless. Like any film nowadays, we just check to see if there's a stinger.
Yeah, there's 2 end credit scenes.
And JP, since you said this, I fully expect you to post at some point a picture of an alpaca dressed as a Kai from the Bajoran religion now.
Make sure you have the earring correct.
Yeah, make sure the Dajara is correct.
And the nose wrinkle.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So weird.
That's why it
Yeah,
says
you can
weirdo on
Google
my
it.
name.
Somebody has already done Caugh alpaca. It's already on.
Oh,
Google
someone already did?
Images.
Look at my subtitle on the name, Dandelion. It says weirdo.
Yep. Bird is correct. On Reddit, on Reddit, there's an image of Caugh alpaca.
Jeez.
Can you share it?
I'll see if I can bring it up.
I can if you want. You want me to share the screen?
Oh, you
Go
already
ahead and
have it?
share it. It might be a better condition, better version than one I bring up.
I got it.
Yep. That's basically the one I saw. All right, and with Caugh alpaca, I'll go ahead and end the stream. So thank you guys for showing up. Sorry I missed last week, and I will see you guys next week, and hopefully my voice will be back to normal by then.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, Mike.
So,
Later.
Feel better.
Later, folks.
Later,
Bye.
weirdos.